how much difference do you think a head coach can make with a limited roster? I know this was a question from your mailbag, and I want to dovetail it. And what's the most important thing for a Browns head coach? Most important consideration?
Yeah, I mean, we can start there. I think, it's a little bit of an umbrella, but it's leadership, right? And that means interpersonal relationships. How do you deal with your coaching staff? How do you put your coaching staff together? If you're walking down the hallway, how do you interact with players? Do they respect you? Do they listen? Do you have the right message? Do you stay consistent? Because I do think that's really important for all the grief Kevin Stefanski took. I thought that was one of his greatest strengths was that he was consistent from one day to the next. And I think you have to be that way in this league that is so emotional, so roller coaster. I think consistency is huge. Then you get to the X and O's, right? Do you know what you're talking about from an X and O standpoint? Can you put together a winning game plan? Because that matters in this league when it's close games, right? You can lead all you want, but then there's decisions you have to make heading into the game plan. And then it's, X's and it's specific, if you're a play caller, specific play calls. How do you manage the clock? Time management, those things that get really under the spotlight once you get to Sundays. But there's so much that goes into that job before you get to Sunday, right? How do you handle the million things that get thrown at you? This guy is late. This guy got arrested. This uniform's not working. Whatever it is, there's a million things that wind up on the head coach's desk. So I think it's a big job, and I think the number one focus is leadership. And I think if you find the right guy, David, I mean, you look at the Patriots, and that they went from 4 wins to the Super Bowl. Is that all Mike Vrabel? No. It's Drake May got a lot better. They added players, in the offseason. But Mike Vrabel had a big impact. So I would say, if I had to put a number on it, I think 3 or 4 wins is how much a coach can have. Take a bad roster and make you're not contenders, but make you win more games. Take a mediocre roster and you become a playoff team. And then you take a pretty good roster and you can turn you into a champion.